Welcome to today's episode of Psych with Sigmund, where we're exploring the fascinating world of psychological first aid. I'm your host, Sigmund, and I'll be guiding you through this journey into the human mind. Psychological first aid is a vital concept in psychology that refers to the immediate support and care provided to individuals who have experienced a traumatic event or are struggling with their mental health. It's essential to understand that psychological first aid is not a replacement for professional therapy, but rather a bridge that helps people cope with their emotions and behaviors until they can receive more extensive help. The concept of psychological first aid has been around since the early 20th century, when it was first introduced by psychologists who recognized the need for immediate support in the aftermath of traumatic events. Over time, our understanding of psychological first aid has evolved, and today we recognize its importance in a wide range of situations, from natural disasters to interpersonal violence. One of the key psychological theories that underlies psychological first aid is the concept of emotional regulation. Emotional regulation refers to our ability to manage and modulate our emotions in response to stressful or traumatic events. When we experience trauma, our emotional regulation systems can become overwhelmed, leading to feelings of anxiety, depression, or even post-traumatic stress disorder. Psychological first aid helps individuals regulate their emotions by providing a safe and supportive environment, which enables them to process their experiences and begin the healing process. Research has consistently shown that psychological first aid can have a significant positive impact on mental health outcomes. For example, studies have found that individuals who receive psychological first aid after a traumatic event are less likely to develop PTSD or depression than those who do not receive such support. Additionally, research has identified several key components of effective psychological first aid, including active listening, empathy, and validation. In terms of real-world applications, understanding psychological first aid can help people in their everyday lives in many ways. For instance, if a friend or family member experiences a traumatic event, knowing how to provide psychological first aid can make a significant difference in their recovery. Similarly, employers can use psychological first aid to support employees who have experienced workplace trauma or stress. Therapeutic approaches related to psychological first aid include cognitive behavioral therapy and psychodynamic therapy. CBT helps individuals identify and change negative thought patterns that contribute to their distress, while psychodynamic therapy explores the underlying emotional conflicts that may be contributing to their symptoms. In addition to these individual-level interventions, organizations and communities can also play a critical role in promoting psychological first aid. For example, workplaces can establish employee assistance programs that provide confidential counseling services and support for employees experiencing trauma or stress. Community-based initiatives like crisis helplines and support groups can provide vital connections and resources for individuals in need. As we move forward, it's essential to recognize the importance of cultural sensitivity and diversity in providing psychological first aid. Different cultures and communities may have unique needs and preferences when it comes to mental health support, and it's crucial that we take these differences into account when developing and implementing psychological first aid intervention. In conclusion, psychological first aid is a powerful tool for promoting mental health and well-being in the face of adversity. By understanding its theoretical background, research evidence, and real-world applications, we can better support ourselves and others in need. Remember, every small act of kindness counts, and by prioritizing psychological first aid in our lives, we can create a more compassionate and supportive community for everyone. That's all for today's Psych with Sigmund. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, may your ego find balance between pleasure and reality.